Hello all. So just getting into this butter churn pulley, and I figured I'd make a quick little video about it and kind of explain a few things. So after doing a little bit of looking, this is actually an earlier one. Now, I don't have an example of the other ones, so you'll just have to... you can look them up, they're not that hard to find, but this one's got the IH logo cast into it. The later models had a little notch in here. Focus. There. In here, and there'd be a tin guard that went over and covered the gear. Now this one doesn't have that. And as I was starting to clean up a few other things, I've noticed something. So this is just for my reference and for anybody else that gets into one of these, how to take them apart. They're very, very simple. But everybody always paints these red. And I kind of thought they were supposed to be red. But after doing a little bit of cleaning, we've got black paint, well, probably Japanning back then, but black paint. The red that you're seeing is actually a red oxide primer, because all of this is black. And it is paint, it's not just grease or anything like that. So this is probably going to end up being black, which is going to be different. I guess if we don't like it, we can always change it. It's just paint, but fact of the matter, this one is black. And I do try to keep things original if I can. So in here I've cleaned up two. You can kind of see there. Focus, please. That's all black paint. You can even see where the nuts were. There's black and then the red oxide primer. And this was a very original engine this came off, so I know this hasn't been messed with in a very, very long time. But disassembly, quick and dirty. There's 3 screws that go in the back, come up through there. Take those off. Take your bolt out. Grease cup will come out too. Now I've taken this apart, cleaned it, and thought, yeah, I'll do a video for you guys. Because it's just something different, and I don't think there's a video of anybody actually tearing one of these down. So there's your bolt. Grease hole there. Flat for the grease to excuse me. A flat for the grease to be distributed. You see that's already all cleaned out. And that comes off. That's actually 2 pieces. We'll get into that in a sec. And that's it. Bearing's nice on this. Just got to be cleaned up. But again, more black paint. So I'm going to do this one black and see how it turns out, because every other one I've seen has always been done red, kind of to match the engine. So, 1910 Tom Thumb, this should be alright. Might have to change the bearing cap on the other one, as that's actually how these mount on. It's your bearing cap, as well as your butter churn assembly. So then that grease cup comes out as well. Then that's it. You're done with that side of things. Then this guy, once you take those screws out, it's still sticky. I just set it back together because I thought I could do this one-handed. Apparently not. Hang on. Sorry. Okay, so that sits in there with that little shoulder. Now there is what looks like red paint here. But again, we also have black paint. So that might just be red oxide primer, I don't know. But that's definitely on top of the red. So I'm not sure, but they say we'll probably end up painting this black and maybe do a few red highlights here and there just to see how that looks, because there is, and I don't know if it's just because it's on top and fairly thick, if this is supposed to be red from what I can see. Okay, you've got grease and other junk still on it, but it's definitely a red, and it doesn't look like there's black. Or I could just be seeing things in this entire assembly is supposed to be black. But that's it. These are very, very simple, like I said. So once this is all done, cleaned up, I might do a video on cleaning it further. And then after that, pull the Tom Thumb out of storage because it hasn't been out this year yet. And swap it over, see how it looks. And then if we like it, well, like I say, we'll maybe repaint the other bearing cap because it's just a standard cap, kind of like that, without your guard for your butter churn on it. But thought I'd share that with you guys because I thought it was kind of interesting that there's a lot of black paint, black Japanning, and it's most certainly on top of the what looks like red oxide primer. Whether it is red oxide, I'm not sure, but that's just what I'm calling it because I'm unsure. But everything's good. There's a very, very minimal amount of play on the pin to the pulley, but grease will take that up no problem. And I played around with this engine before we took it off. He was parting it out anyways, so that's why I inquired about it. But there was no play in that bearing at all, like up and down or side to side, so I have no issue throwing this back on once it's cleaned up on Dad's Tom Thumb. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, like I say, that's it for this one, and if we do any more, I'll throw it at the end, or I might just leave it as the video for now, and we'll get into it again another time. Alright, talk to you in the next one.